Well, hello everyone. I hope that you can hear me okay. I have tested everything. It should be okay. Um, Welcome to the live stream. And this live stream is going to show you how to do a lower third in Davinci Resolve that you can use on your live stream. This will be a way that you can do a blank lower third that you can basically put text over top of it, and the text that you can do over top, you can do it in OBS in a different, add just a layer over top of it with the text there, or you can use other type of presentation software through things like Easy Worship, Worship Extreme Presenter, etc., to be able to use the background lower third that I will show you how to make in Davinci Resolve. That basically we do something like that is some sort of animated video lower third that works and has a little bit of animation in the lower third. And then you can put the text over top of it that you can reuse there. So it's going to be very interesting. The thing that I can show you quickly is a couple of examples of what I have done. I'll show you basically the Advent one that I made, that I shared before. So let me just do this here, and I'll show you. This has got some text there, but you can basically make, this is what the cleared version of it is. So this is exactly what we're going to be making here with the lower third. And so just going to bring up the comments here, make sure, yeah. So this is what the lower third looks like that we'll be making. So you can see it's in the lower third of the screen, and you can see that the candles do move a little bit. The idea of the lower thirds, you want it to be a subtle lower third. If you make things where it goes all over the place, then the lower thirds become distracting. And so when I make the lower thirds, sometimes I will make the lower thirds where you basically, the border, sometimes I'll make the border go around. And so sometimes if you make the border go around too fast, then that can also be distracting. So it's a little balance on that. But this is the lower third that we will do, and I can basically show you a couple other different lower thirds that we have done from other things that we've done before. Let me show this here. So you can see this one has a little border that goes around, and if you have it basically looping like so, then you can see that the border will just continue to go around, and that can be a little distracting. So you need to make sure that you make sure it's not going to be distracting. And then again, I always make the lower third a blank so that I can put text over top of it. So this is what I will show you how to do in Davinci Resolve. So let's get started here. The first thing I usually do, I get my, especially for the Advent one, I got the background for the candles there. I got the video of the candles from Envatu Elements, and I find that is a great resource for the stock video footage. So I actually have, I already showed, I've downloaded it here. So this is the video file here, candles, that we will use here. So we will basically go and take this and put this into our Davinci Resolve project, import that. So let's actually hop into Davinci Resolve. Let me just bring up the comments here to make sure. Okay, so let's hop into Davinci Resolve. Not sure if you are familiar with Fusion at all. So this is basically all going to be done in Fusion for the most part, and then we will be taking the last part to um, extend the clip a little bit, to especially when you do a border around things, to extend it so that the clip doesn't, if you want to make it so that the, if you do a border around, you can have it so that it will uh, stop for a bit and then continue on, so that when you have it loop, it'll loop for a little bit. So let's do, so we will create a new project here, and then what we need to do is we're going to create a new Fusion clip. So I believe we go into the edit here, and then we go and create a new Fusion composition. Okay, now the key thing here is we want to set this, especially when we're working with video of the clip, is we want to find out and make sure that the clip is the same size, the same duration of the actual clip that we're going to work. It just works out better that way. So let's go back to our time here. Actually, I don't think this clip will play in the media player. So let me just close this here. And then let's just go into Davinci Resolve, and let's cancel this for now and go back to Davinci Resolve, and let's import this into the here into the project here. So it's under videos and lower third tutorial. So we're just going to open this up there, and that's okay. We can change the resolution here. So now we can take a look here, and then we can basically scrub through this, and we can see, actually, if we just open this up, we can see that it's 1625 total. Or, no, it's actually not. So it's basically, it's about 19 seconds there. So now we basically need to go here, and we can now go and we can create this new Fusion composition. And we want to do this here, and then our duration of the clip is it'll be defaulted to 5 seconds, and we want to make it 1929, like so. And then we can call it something that we want. Let's do it like so. Okay, so now we've got the duration set on that, and then we can basically now click on this to open this in Fusion. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is set up our format of the clip, and the easiest way to do that is to set the grab a background here and drag this on here, and then set it to the media out like so, and then now that's going to basically set our size of the clip to basically the size of the project, which is going to be our 1020 our 1920 by 1080. And so the other thing that we want to do, this is key, is also take the alpha of this down. So now it's going to be transparent. Okay, so now we've got this set up. Then the next thing that we want to do is we're going to start by creating our lower third rectangle there. So what we want to do is we want to add another background here, and actually I'm just going to delete this and then just actually let's do this here, and then just I think if we shift click on this, oh, that's not it. There's a way to do it so that you can merge it over it, but I'll just use the merge tool here, and then you can basically merge this in so that it will make this the background of the tool and then put that there, and then we want to take this background and put this as the foreground. Now it becomes a black background, and then what we want to do is we want to take this and apply a rectangle mask here. So here's our rectangle mask, and we just want to click on that, and now it becomes a rectangle. Now we want to basically size this here so that it becomes, let's take on the inspector here, we want to take this and change the width to be all the way there, and then the height we can do 0.3333 so that it's basically the third of the screen. So we do that, and then we can just basically drag it down to the bottom of the screen like so. So now we have a lower third that is in the bottom of the screen. Now what I like to do is basically add rounding of the corners here, and so you can basically under corner radius here you can just ramp that all the way up So you get a nice rounded rectangle there. Now here with this, you can change the color of this. So let's make this a nice blue color. And you do that in the background. Uh, uh, so I'm not sure if you've ever used Fusion at all, but all these boxes are called nodes, and you basically build a graph of what's going on. So it works from left to right, where it starts from the beginning, and then you go and out at the end, you have the media out node, which is what's going to be the final thing. And so that's the basics of the way that you work with Fusion. And so you just build this graph in Fusion. And so this is the way that you build this. So we've built this really quickly, and I should have probably explained a little bit about Fusion and how it works, but that's the way that you build it. So this rectangle or background shape is where you would go and you change the color. So let's change this to, I like this blue here, so change that. And so that is going to be the background of the uh, lower third there. So let's move this over here so we have a little bit more space. And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to we're going to duplicate these, and we're going to use this. So I just selected all of them and we copied them, and then we're going to double click again to unselect it, and then we're going to paste so that we got that, and now it's pasted again. And it actually merged it all in, which is excellent. Okay, so now we actually have 2 copies of that. The reason we want to do 2 copies of this is because now what we can do with this second copy is we're going to go to this rectangle here, and then if we change this color, let's make it a red. And then if we change this from a solid, and then we increase we change the border width. Maybe, oh, you know what? This isn't actually in, I thought it got it connected. So I think it's not connected properly. It just pasted it over it. So let's see. Yeah, see, it's not connected to the graph. So what we have to do is basically take that. I thought it did connect it, but it didn't. So you just basically, to disconnect it, here you press uh, the blue area here where when it's selected like that, and then you want to basically connect this up here and then connect that up there. Now we have, that was really all that was messed up. So we want to, now that it's there, we want to basically go back to this rectangle here, and we want to take our um, take our border down a lot so that we can basically add just a little border around it so that you can add just a colored border. So you can also basically click and drag this. I find that it's easier to manipulate it easier like that, or you can type in a value if you want to do. So that basically gives you a border there. So that works. And so now we have a little a blue background with a red border around it. And then that gives us a nice little background. The next thing that we need to do is actually we're going to add another merge node. So we're going to disconnect this here, and we're going to add another merge node. Let's move things over here so we have a little bit more room. And then connect this up. Okay, so now we've got that. And then what we can do is we can drag our candle over here. And then we can drag this down here. And so now we have the candle there, but it's in the wrong spot. So how do we fix that? Well, if we click on the media on this node here, and we do Control Space, and we do Transform, select that one and click Add.